Hello, welcome back to My Universe mode here on WWE 2K25. First, again, admin. This bit will probably disappear from future episodes once WrestleMania has happened, I think, because essentially I'm reacting to real-time events. WWE has officially announced an actual Backlash now for the 10th of May, which would be in the slot highlighted on screen right now. We've obviously committed to the weekend after, but realistically all it does is make my justification for having the main event first week of June in this calendar that much more realistic, because all I've essentially done is just given myself another week of build up towards Backlash and then towards that main event, as a result being a 2-week buffer between the two, as it will be in real life. So Backlash will be there, main event will be there. All I've done is basically give myself an extra week because we don't have those couple of weeks following WrestleMania in My Universe mode. Just gives us enough time to get those stories ready for Backlash, essentially. Also, I have employed updated sliders, which means we can probably continue to record these the way I hope to record them, in terms of spectate mode, which will hopefully give the matches that little bit more breathing room and length that I was looking for and was missing in that first week. Apologies. This is the first time doing this, so it is going to be a little bit trial and error for this first month in particular. On a similar note, kind of the promos, I will just do a commentary reaction to the promos, pretending I'm hearing what they're actually saying, rather than trying to act them, because, to be honest, there's some out there that I'm probably a big cancer for if I try to imitate. NXT is actually completely filling up now. A lot of the gaps are being filled in, but again, as I say, we'll just keep that in the background. But the good news is we do now have enough tag team stuff in the background that they've got a full tag team division down there, and there's now a couple of women's tag teams down there as well, which can make an appearance on main roster shows in an attempt to get the title off Liv and Raquel. So I'll leave that there for now, and we'll get into Raw. And welcome to Raw proper. We start with the grudge match. Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. This, in real life, probably happening a little bit sooner, maybe a triple threat at WrestleMania. However, here, Bianca and Io did all their stuff uncontested from Rhea in that meantime, just stewing from the sidelines. Which means Rhea's been simmering for a little bit longer. But we welcome the EST, who remains the EST. And slightly annoying the things on the left-hand side, I'm not going to lie, but, well, Rhea's decided to start this match early. Well, in case you need a reminder, Rhea Ripley set herself the challenge of winning this match. And, well, that's not gone particularly well there. Finally, this match might actually begin with Rhea being forced into the ring. And officially, we've started. Bianca still wearing her jacket. And glasses. It's remarkable they've stayed on. But Bianca, I mean, this is early for a KOD. Yeah, way too early for a KOD as Rhea gets out of that one, but Bianca hyping up the crowd. Sure. That brief cut to the crowd allowed the fastest of costume changes there. Oh, Rhea catches Bianca and goes for a heavy slam onto the, well, padding outside the arena, really, but somewhat less of a softer landing there, although the padding really makes it a soft landing anyway. They're going to have to get back in the arena at some point, as Rhea decides, maybe not. Does this count? A little bit of uncoordinated chaos there, but a kick to the back of the head, ultimately, is the result of... Not gonna lie, I don't know how to get rid of that self-promo challenge. There's literally nothing in the thing to say, get rid of that. It rather does... I'm just gonna, as they get into a slugfest, I'm just gonna break the veil again here. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that going forward, because I figured that is the easiest and safest option to record promos, was the, you know, just general self-promo. But it ultimately results with them doing that every single time. So, not quite sure what we're going to do on that front going forward. Let me know if it's actually annoying, but... I really feel like they shouldn't be there in spectate mode. I'd understand if he was there during a match that you were actively participating in. I think it was a reminder to yourself. Rear takes to the top rope here. A curious move there. Had to adjust mid-air, I felt like. But this match continues. As Rhea positions Bianca. Only for Bianca just to get up. Which Rhea says, get back down again. But Bianca's still not having that. And, well, the big move comes out. And the meme position is presented to us. She goes for another. This time a little bit more successful, perhaps. It is indeed. I'm not really sure the match was that much longer, but already signs at the very least they are going to be finishing a little bit more often on a bigger move. Not a title match, but earns her a shot. Maxine and Ivy Nile went head-to-head last week, and a spirited showing from Maxine Dupree, must be said. But naturally, the post-match attack from Ivy Nile left things a lot more heated, as if they could be even more heated between these two factions. But it has resulted in this matchup as Otis and Akira take on the Creed brothers, psyching themselves up there. Piss of it a little bit again. It'll be annoying that the American-made competitors don't actually have the American-made outfits. No, indeed, actually, realistically, the Alpha Academy don't have their uniforms either. Slightly irritating, but the Alpha Academy compadres, Otis and Akira. And finally, perhaps we might be heading towards a resolution of this particular defection/feud that involves Chad Gable. Yet to be seen so far in this particular reignition of it, but Akira just settling Otis there, making sure he's focused on this particular fight, as it's always a little bit weird that the competitors are just stood outside behind them when they arrive. But we start things off with Otis and Brutus. I'll be honest, I always get the Creeds mixed up, so expect me to get it wrong multiple times during this match. Yes. Otis gaining the upper hand early on here. Just really asserting dominance early on. Despite that, decides to tag in his partner. Not fully certain why, but maybe hoping the agility versus the brute strength of these two friends and allies can provide different things in the ring, whereas Brutus and Julius kind of largely have the same build, but the Creeds have got to keep themselves sharp here. That was effectively rope break as he kind of kicked the rope to make the pin, but speaking of ropes, Akira takes to it and basically just butt checks him. I'll be honest, picking up WWE again at the start of this year, I am relearning moves. Not fully so what you'd call that one from Akira. The flying butt smack, I have no idea. But Akira applying pain here. Will attempt to do anyway. Submission failing relatively quickly. Plenty left in the tank there. And, well, as much as Kira can run, doesn't really pay out if you don't actually make a move at the end of it. At the very least, Akira is being pushed back into his own corner if he wants to make this tag. He is within range of Otis, now that he's on the receiving end of a bit of brutality there, as the Creeds take over, and I probably might still be wrong here, but Julius enters. Well, he goes for the butt smack again, I think. I don't know what that move is. And, well, the Creeds may be working in unison on this particular move. Indeed we are. Julius in for a matter of minutes before switching back and delivering a triple knee to the face, followed by slamming the arm down. And now the head as well. Damage being applied to Akira here. Needs to really get Otis back in on the action. Incredible work from Akira there. I'll be honest, that caught me off guard. I thought he was about to be reversed, but no. As he does finally bring Otis in, and they get to work in unison with a double elbow. As Akira can't really work out how to get out of the ring now. The referee just blocking all attempts. I really hope Otis doesn't need to get tagged back out again at any given point. Akira is now out of the ring at least. Incredible strength though from Brutus. Bringing Otis back to his feet and going for another. Oh no, this time slamming a knee into him. Otis really needs to get a handle on this as Brutus is just going for one after another here. But tag's been made. Back into the corner and literally just basically Judas is in for about 10 seconds. Immediately we've got another tag team move in. Flying tag there, which I don't think the ref necessarily saw, but well, that's not going to work out. Kind of. Well, it did, actually. Akira unconventionally using his teammate as a roadblock to deliver that. Goes flying out the arena. As Brutus has been in for like 90% of this match. Julius has come in for like 2 times and immediately just tagged him back in with a combination move, but try and get back to his teammate. As Akira, rookie error there. Maybe. I mean, a bit of guile from Akira though, which was largely blocked from view by the referee. As Akira misses, but effectively uses that to dummy a secondary attack there. Akira struggling to lift the Creed there. And pays for it. As it's their turn to show off, which gives Otis the chance to get in and trip. Like I say, Julius hasn't been in for long in this match, all things considered, so relatively fresh, even though he has already started to undress, but hasn't really taken any damage, unlike his brother. Otis, however, was on the receiving end of a fair amount already. Although he's immediately just tagging his... Sure. I mean, if I was Bruce, I'd be slightly annoyed after this match is over that he's been asked to do 80% of the legwork in this match. But once again, lifting Otis up. Akira will break this up. That's that interference registered for this particular match, which just prevented Akira from doing so again for a while now. Which does mean advantage Creed, realistically, here. Has to be said. We're just showing incredible strength in this match to lift Otis over and over again as... Ooh. A cheap shot, but the crowd boos it. But I like a little bit of sneaky from Akira there. Not all goody two-shoes. You've got to employ underhanded tactics. You've got to fight fire with fire here. It's all well a good winning clean, but you've got to win. So Julius hasn't been in this match long, but when he has been, Otis has attacked his legs. We'll see if that pays off eventually at any given point here. Slams Julius into the mat, and probably about right time for Akira. I say that. Maybe he recharged on the outside there. It's not a great return into the... Oh dear. This is not going to be pleasant for Akira. I think Otis can actually break this up. He can. This match actually, maybe actually showing the sliders off a little bit better now. This has been a much more sizable match so far. As it's Otis' turn to throw Brutus from the top rope. I just love how matter-of-factly they always walk back from doing that, as if they haven't just done something. Back into the position to be tagged, but in comes under the other Creed, and once again, just comes in, immediately tags his brother back into a double team. And make the cover. Otis can't break this up. Julius watches on. Akira kicks out. This match continues. Although, maybe he shouldn't have, because they've got hold of Akira now. Slamming him into the corner. And now into the mat. To take to the rope himself. As Otis actually attacks him there and then. I thought he was actually going to follow up there. Oh, now he thought about against it. Now he's actually gone for it. But throws him back into the ring. Akira's not actually up, so that's not really to anyone's benefit. If anything, that was to Brutus' benefit in the first place. As Otis may have just caused Akira more harm than good there. Should have left him on the outside of the ring. Tag's being made again, and it's... Ooh, an immediate reversal, actually. Knees to the gut. And actually, what was looking to be maybe just a tag to finish off Akira has turned out badly here. Thought, all right, brother, you haven't done a lot. You're fresh. Finish him off. Akira's countered. Brought Otis in, although Otis really hasn't taken advantage of that. Let's kick out of the cover, though. Although, if at first you don't succeed, a yes? What's the definition of insanity? Brings Otis into the corner. Although Otis falls straight out of the corner, so they can't tag. I think he was probably going to actually... Blimey. Flings Otis into the air. One-handed there somehow. This... Again, I think he keeps trying to bring his brother in for another double attack, but Otis just fell out the first time, and the second time reverses it. This is probably not the best corner for Brutus. Do something. Weird the Alpha Academy lads, even when it's not in their corner, manage to inflict interferences when they take to the top rope. But when Otis goes up to the top rope in their corner, Creed didn't bother. This will be broken up, of course. He's done right in front of... There we go. But the first time, I think, Alpha Academy had gone for a cover. It's quite a jump for Akira to make. He makes it. Gone for the second cover, and he can't interfere this time. Akira and Otis get a measure of revenge on the Creed brothers here. An excellent win, a statement win, you could say. Getting a bit of a revenge as Jimmy Uso takes to the ring to say something. Of course, switched brands with his brother. Jay went to SmackDown, Jimmy goes to Raw. And Jimmy here isn't best pleased with American May's treatment of Alpha Academy. Jay, of course, was somewhat looking out for. Of course, Jay was looking after a little bit Alpha Academy before they switched brands, and has seemingly given that duty over to his brother Jimmy. As Jimmy calls out the leader of American Made here, Chad Gable, for their treatment of Alpha Academy. Chad, of course, questioning why Jimmy's actually even getting involved, not being part of them, but Jimmy's got a duty here. But Jimmy challenges Chad to a match. Next show. Chad not want to back down from a fight there. Next up, we have The LWO here. Joaquin and Cruz here to represent in a match against A-Town Down Under. Grayson and Austin a little bit outspoken last week. Demanded that they get a shot at the tag team titles, the War Raiders titles. Adam Pearce set down the gauntlet of, well, you don't just get it if you ask for it. Pick someone out for a match, beat them, then you get your shot. A-Town Down Under picked Joaquin and Cruz. I don't know if this should be seen as a compliment or an insult for the LWO here, though knowing A-Town Down Under, more likely to be an insult. Probably likely trying to pick who they feel like are the easiest to beat. Nonetheless, it is a legitimate chance for A-Town Down Under to make an impact on Raw here. Win this, they do get a shot at the War Raiders, as per the agreement. So, for the first time in a while, there is a fair amount on the line for these boys. Really, the first time since their Vengeance match against Obafemi, which would have been singles glory had either of them won that. Obafemi, of course, now on Raw, yet to be seen. But a shot at tag team glory now, or at least a chance to earn a shot at tag team glory, as not started well. Maybe underestimating the LWO boys. Naturally picked them out probably as the ones they view as the weakest. Austin Theory beckoning them to get up. Just delivering a bit of pain to the head of Joaquin Cruz. You'd think I'd be able to get those ones the right way around. They're not even brothers. Don't even share the same name. But it is Joaquin. I said it the wrong way around. It's just because my notes have been Joaquin and Cruz rather than Cruz and Joaquin. It's Cruz that started. But quick tags really between the A-Town Under. As it's even on his pants, for Christ's sake. Just naturally because of the way I wrote them down in my notes, I expected Joaquin to start. But it isn't. It is Cruz to actually regain a bit of momentum here. Brings him into the corner, but reversed. Takes a heavy elbow. That would ignore the janky cut there, but goes for the early cheap pin, but takes to the rope as... Oof. Attacking the neck there. Few shots to the head and neck so far against Cruz. Seemingly a game plan. As Del Toro catches Austin, maybe a bit by surprise there. And I thought there was a sign in the back that said, look at my shirt. She's just wearing a plain blue shirt. Just keep an eye on her, just in case she brings that sign back out again at any given point. But it is Joaquin's turn. Yeah, I mean, rather helpfully, they have name tagged their pants, so I shouldn't have got them the wrong way around, but I did. I do apologise. They just surprised me by the fact that they brought Cruz in first rather than Joaquin. That might have been on me for the order I actually put them in the match in the first place. There we are. Although the look at my shirt, sign's just moved to somebody who I think actually, similarly, just had a plain white shirt. Oh no, they do have something on it. A-Town managed to bring Grayson Waller in. Ref sort of gets in the way, as does his partner, but creating a bit of a maze for them to get through in order to attack Del Toro. Grayson the legal man here, so it's all well and good attacking Austin Theory, putting him out of action, but unless you've worn Grayson down enough that you'll think you can maybe pin him, there's not really much benefit to taking out Theory, who does get up now, but Grayson kicks out before he's even up to interfere. Attacking him again, though. Effectively 1v2 here. Dirty. Del Toro misses there because Austin just simply gets out of the ring. But taken out of the shins. A-Town working the head of Del Toro. Del Toro working the legs of Grayson Waller. Can't help but feel like they're doing this the wrong way round. LWO boys, probably known a little bit more for high flying, probably need to take their legs out. Whereas A-Town Under, known for running their mouths. Probably worthwhile taking their head out. Austin Theory's brought back in again. Once again, tag team partner here, showing off as the other one manages to tag themselves out. The opponent, I mean. To their... Oh, though... Wild with a wild leap, misjudges it. There we are. Look at my shirt. She's wearing blue. Actually wear a shirt with something on it, love. But again, head, neck seems to be the target. Ooh. Just kicks out before Del Toro can interfere, though he did step into the ring, so I think that might have still actually counted as, yeah, he can't stop this now. An error there from Del Toro, not trusting his teammate to kick out, meant that he couldn't interfere with the second attempt. And A-Town do get their chance. Bit of a rookie mistake there from Del Toro, realistically. Or a lack of faith. I'm sure that won't cause problems going forward. But A-Town managed to walk the walk after talking the talk. It's Lyra's turn to do the talking, though, as the still Intercontinental Women's Champion, or other way around, I guess. She's setting up the challenge for literally anyone to challenge her next. She's fended off everyone so far, so it's up to whomever wants to have a go to have a go. But yeah, Lyra promising that she will win that match. And what is a night of tag team action? We actually go 3 matches in a row, essentially, of tag team action. As everyone's favourites, New Day turn up again. This time it's as a result of the antics of Liv Morgan in the match between Xavier and Dominic for the Intercontinental Number One Contender spot. Realistically, to anyone who was actually paying attention, Liv's interference didn't actually really help Dom win at all. But that's not going to stop New Day believing that Xavier would have had more of a chance if Liv hadn't been there. Kofi actually kept himself under control during that match, which was a bit of a surprise to everyone. No shenanigans from Kofi's side. Liv did introduce a kendo stick, but it was never used. New Day sucks. New Day sucks. But it isn't Dominic that are going to be taking on. They just... Because they can't realistically take on Liv, it's essentially the Judgment Day as a whole. And as the current tag team faction here, if they ever come out, all of them come in, JD as mascot really, more than anything. He's not fit to fight. It will be Finn Balor and Carlito in this match. So how do you like them apples? All of them are going to come out, none of them are going to be ringside. But yeah, JD, well enough to be seen again, just not well enough to fight, not being cleared yet. Itching to really be in this one, but as leader now, Dom's not going to be part of the tag team. Also, this is something it has, just to break the veil again, the Judgment Day situation is something that probably would play out slightly differently, even if the ultimate outcome might be the same. On the Raw just gone, there was a hint that Liv was pushing Dom to assert or challenge for the leadership position of Judgment Day, and Dom's tried to get Penta in real life. So, whilst Finn may not have a second shot, in this world, Dom got Finn a second shot at that Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, which Finn failed, and then Dom took over leadership as a result of that, which could have come via a contested match. So Finn now not happy maybe about it, but playing second fiddle. Meanwhile, Penta, of course, didn't actually join, but Dom has lined someone up nonetheless. And in fact, it will be Dom in action next, which is partially why he's not in this match now. Dom does have that triple threat number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship match as the main event next, which is why he isn't actually at ringside. He's got to prepare, and Liv's got to prepare him for it, I guess. Carlito showing a bit of ring rust there. God bless him. I mean, took her on up there, Carlito. realistically, as much as they think they've got a reason to be aggrieved here, this is more just a chance for the New Day to vent, I guess, on people who they kind of vaguely view as being part of the reason why they are still yet to have any silverware on them, titleware, this year. I say silverware. I'm used to football games, really. I don't think you class the championship belts as silverware. It's gold or title, really, isn't it? But it's Finn in against Xavier now. Finn might be on a smidge of a losing streak, but certainly less rusty in the ring than Carlito should be. Boo indeed. Although, I'm not quite sure who the crowd are booing here, because I imagine both parties equally booed. I think this is a rare occasion where Finn's probably actually on the preferred side. An early attempt at a pin, and I think Carlito stepped in. I just saw his shadow. But yeah, for the Judgment Day, this is essentially build up for Dom's big moment here. Win this triple threat, which includes Penta, who he did originally try to line up, but that didn't really come to fruition. But yeah, Dom's the main event, which I'm sure he'll be pleased with, and so would Liv. But maybe it might be nice for the Judgment Day to get a bit of momentum here in the match preceding it. Lose this, and it puts maybe a little bit more pressure on Dom, because the whole point of Dom being in that is to raise their value enough. If they don't get a road break here, I don't know what Kofi's doing, frankly. Just kicks out normally. But yeah, raise the profile of Judgment Day enough for the individuals they've got lined up to join them, Get to find out who that is. But Woods in, briefly. Going the same way as the Creeds here. Woods has been in for like 2 seconds. And each time he's come in, he's tagged Kofi straight back in again. Finn Balor taking the brunt of that. Carlito begging for the tag as Kofi was goading him to get up, but Finn just had completely different ideas. Kofi did get something on Carlito there, even if it was a bit of a botch. Kofi tries to go for the exiting Finn Balor as he had a completely open Carlito in his own corner to do this essentially against. Gets away with it. I thought they were doing a tag move, but it ends up being effectively 2 individual moves. Can Carlito get some momentum and get them back out of... No, maybe not. Xavier Woods has been in for about a grand total of 12 seconds. We're going for the same move they did against Finn Balor there. On Carlito now. Carlito just remembering why he doesn't really get in the ring all that much anymore. Sucks. Finn can interrupt this, and will. Realistically, Carlito needs to get Finn back in because Kofi's lining up a huge kick there. And Finn can't interrupt that one. So pressure's on Dom. Yeah, New Day sucks, but... And now the main event. We start with Dominic Mysterio, who will have arrived by himself because there's no real way to actually set this up with Liv. And just Liv. I'll be honest, actually. With the new whole faction entrances, whilst they are nice in general, it is actually quite irritating to kind of maneuver around them because there's no way to actually get them to enter with just some of their faction without all of them turning up. But following the New Day and then 2 members of the Judgment Day and then another member of the Judgment Day, we've got Ludwig Kaiser up next. The crowd's going to be fed up of booing, but Dominic here has a chance to get the number 1 contender spot for Bronn's title. But crucially, he's in a triple threat here with Penta, who is a massive threat, and Ludwig Kaiser, who is a threat in his own right, but those two have beef. So if Dom plays this smart, he can let them wear each other down and then come in for the victory, which I wouldn't put it past Dom. He has dirtied his name for a reason. Well, there is entrant number 1, the victor of the first heat, Ludwig Kaiser, who put away another one of the kind of recent rivals of Pete Dunne in his heat to get to this. Dom obviously took out Xavier Woods which is why they had that little retaliation match in the previous match. But Ludwig Kaiser did put down Pete Dunne again in another resummation of that particular rivalry. Much like Dom, kind of, and to a degree Xavier Woods as well, obviously. Trying to set up singles glory, perhaps in the shadow of other teammates and faction members. Obviously a ride with Gunter. Gunter's gone on to the big things. With Kaiser, though, yet to really break through in that regard. But kind of get the sense it might not be too far off for Ludwig Kaiser. He's declared 2025 is his year. And finally, the crowd get a chance to cheer. As the man who knows no fear. I would say, it is fascinating that something that is quite close to his actual entrance is in the game, but Penta isn't. Coming officially as DLC later in the year, I don't actually necessarily think that visually this is the best, but it does appear to have his moveset, so I'm happy to stick with it. Ludwig Kaiser has tried to instill fear in El Zero Miedo. Not quite happened yet. Yeah, it is weird that his entrance is essentially in the game, but he isn't. It's not quite his accurate entrance, but it's close enough. But triple threat. As Ludwig, ever the canny, actually is the one who steps aside to start with. Waits for his chance to have a go at Penta. As predicted, he's gone for the man he wanted to put fear in. Dom, less said of that the better. But it's got to be said, all three going for each other early on here. Much less of a I'll let you deal with that than we thought. Dom really needs to play this smart. Just let him do it, Dom. Let him do it. Ludwig rolls out of the ring, and I mean, great chance of an early pin here if he plays it smart, but Penta rolls out too, almost. Of course, this is a triple threat. There are no disqualifications and such. Ludwig Kaiser takes a sledgehammer to both and then is startled by something. Don't push Ludwig in the corner. Penta comes flying in to deal with Dom, and then... oof. I'm actually trying to work out what just happened there, because Dom missed Penta, but he landed on Kaiser, so I don't know if that counted as an attack on Kaiser or not. This is where not actually having the superstar things at the bottom doesn't help. Or pretend that Ludwig moved out of the way there, because Kaiser getting tapped from both sides there. In the back... oof! Kaiser's getting all of it right now. Oof. Dom wildly missing, unlike Dom to miss the point, but... oof. Penta just slamming everyone into everything. Grabs the kendo stick and goes for Dom, who wasn't paying attention at all, apparently. Dom taking some hefty whacks there from that kendo stick. Penta remaining focused on Dominic, who I'm guessing he judges as his biggest threat in this match, because he's left Ludwig all alone for a while now. But Ludwig's demanding his attention once again, and this is not the place to be having a Penta driver. Is that a Penta driver? Kendo stick breaks on Ludwig's hard head. Thick skull working against him there, or for him perhaps. As Dom plants feet into Ludwig before he gets planted into the barrier, kind of. No count-outs, no disqualifications here. As Penta just waits for everyone to get back into the ring, I guess. Throwing Dom around once again. Ludwig trying to G himself up with the crowd, but Penta interrupts him. Dom, just Just regather yourself a bit here. They're both outside the ring. They can't be pinned. Penta just drops the sledgehammer on Ludwig more than anything there. That's it, Dom. Finally, actually had a moment and took it to taunt. Dom giving Penta a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. Enters the ring and is welcomed by Ludwig. Broken up by Penta. Of course, that's always the danger in a triple threat. Got to keep an eye on the third party whenever you go for that. Puts Penta on his head. A little bit taste of his own medicine there. If Dom can get up or Penta can kick out. Dom was smidge lucky, perhaps. Gets one over on Ludwig. With Ludwig out of the arena, this is his chance to pin Penta. Might be able to get a rope break. He might be close enough to do so. Penta kicks out nonetheless. That was Dom's chance, really. Ludwig out of the arena and kind of out. But goes for another pile driver. And receives a kendo stick for his troubles. Now Dom's out of the arena. If one of these two capitalise, Ludwig needs to kick out here. If Dom once again saved by Ludwig kicking out. Delivers a knee to Penta's spine. Exit the arena for some reason. I don't know if I said arena. Ring. A low blow from Dom. No disqualifications. But there's nobody for him to pin in the ring. He needs to get somebody inside that ring real quick. He delivers a kendo stick to both of them. Dom showing Ludwig what he thinks of him, at least. Pick one of them up, get him in the ring, mate. Oh, he's beckoning Penta up, at least. And then misses him. That went well, Dom. Classic Dom. Ludwig's turn to taunt and actually had the spot to do it in. Penta's back to his senses as well. Just waiting for Dom to deal with Ludwig, and could be sensible from Penta this. But again, he's got to get one of them in the ring. Although, Ludwig rather awkwardly offering himself up for that. None of them seem to know where each other is right now, which is great news for Dom, actually, because it gives him a chance to get in the ring. Let Penta do this. That's the Penta driver. Break that up. Let Ludwig roll out and slam Penta into the... And is Dom going for it? Is it going to be a frog splash? It is. Pin Penta now. Ludwig's out of the arena. He's not going to get in time. Dominic wins his shot. Just before Ludwig could break it up again. Dom goes to Backlash. Dom faces Bronn. That's not going to be awkward to commentate on, is it? Dom v Bronn. Easier to say than Bronn v Braun, I suppose. But there we have it. Dirty Dominic Mysterio comes out on top in the triple threat. We'll see Dom at Backlash, which will be in a week's time. I will say at the end of this Raw as well, the planned Monday-Friday schedule, of course, will literally take us a year to get to next year's WrestleMania. So I do anticipate, this will be up on the Monday nonetheless, I do anticipate episodes to roll out faster in the future. Keep an eye on Twitter. I'll probably make a community post or put it in the description of this video on Monday when it goes live, when the next episode will be, because I am likely going to have to accelerate just to get through the year faster. But SmackDown will be out later in the week, not necessarily on the Friday. I'll see you then. Thank you for watching. Do like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. Until then, ta-ra.